Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, a narrative summary inspired by Susan Jeffers' best-selling book. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we experience. It keeps us from speaking up in meetings, starting businesses, changing careers, expressing our feelings, or pursuing the dreams that matter most. We often believe that successful people are fearless, that they somehow overcame fear before taking action. But what if that isn't true? What if courage isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it? In Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Susan Jeffers delivers a life-changing message. Fear is a natural part of life, and waiting for it to disappear only keeps us trapped. Instead of trying to eliminate fear, we must learn to understand it, accept it, and act anyway. Confidence doesn't come before action, it grows because of action. Rather than offering unrealistic promises of a fear-free life, Jeffers teaches practical strategies for overcoming self-doubt, embracing uncertainty, making confident decisions, and developing the inner strength to handle whatever life brings. The book shifts our focus away from controlling the future and toward trusting ourselves. This summary explores the book's central ideas and practical lessons that can help anyone build courage, overcome limiting fears, and create a life guided by confidence instead of hesitation. Fear is a normal part of life. Everyone experiences fear. Successful entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, leaders, parents, students. Fear does not disappear simply because someone becomes successful. The difference is how people respond to it. Many wait until they no longer feel afraid before taking action. Jeffers argues that this moment rarely arrives. Life constantly presents new challenges. Every stage brings unfamiliar situations. Fear accompanies growth. Rather than asking, "How can I eliminate fear?" ask, "How can I move forward despite fear?" This single shift changes everything. Most fear is fear of the unknown. Fear often appears larger than reality. We fear changing jobs, moving to a new city, starting a relationship, ending one, speaking publicly, launching a business. In many cases, we are not afraid of the event itself. We are afraid of uncertainty. The mind naturally imagines worst-case scenarios. Jeffers reminds us that uncertainty is part of every meaningful opportunity. No one begins with complete certainty. Growth requires stepping into the unknown. The future becomes clearer only after we begin walking toward it. The real fear is not failure. According to Jeffers, most fears share one deeper foundation. The fear that we won't be able to handle what happens. What if I fail? What if they reject me? What if everything goes wrong? Hidden beneath these questions is another. What if I can't cope? The solution is not predicting every outcome. It is building trust in yourself. When you believe you can handle challenges, fear loses much of its power. Confidence grows from self-trust, not from certainty. Every choice involves risk. Many people avoid taking risks because they believe staying where they are feels safer. But remaining stuck carries its own risks. Staying in an unhappy job, remaining in unhealthy relationships, ignoring dreams, avoiding opportunities. Comfort often creates invisible costs. Growth always involves uncertainty. Jeffers encourages choosing the risks that lead toward a fuller life rather than the risks of lifelong regret. The greatest danger is often doing nothing. Action is the cure for fear. Fear grows through avoidance. Every time we avoid something frightening, the fear becomes stronger. Every time we face it, the fear becomes weaker. This explains why confidence develops through experience. The first conversation feels difficult. The 10th becomes easier. The 100th feels natural. Action changes our relationship with fear. Waiting for confidence delays growth. Action creates confidence. Stop seeking perfect certainty. Many people delay important decisions while searching for certainty. The perfect career, the perfect partner, the perfect business idea, the perfect moment. Jeffers reminds us that certainty rarely exists. Life always contains unknowns. Waiting until every doubt disappears often means waiting forever. Wise decisions are made with incomplete information. Trust yourself to adjust as life unfolds. Progress belongs to those willing to move despite uncertainty. Replace victim thinking with powerful thinking. When difficulties arise, we can respond in two ways. Victim thinking says, "Why is this happening to me?" Powerful thinking asks, "What can I learn from this?" Victim thinking focuses on blame. Powerful thinking focuses on responsibility. We cannot control every circumstance. We can always control our response. Taking responsibility restores personal power. It transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Build trust in yourself. Many people spend their lives seeking reassurance from others. Approval, permission, validation. Jeffers encourages building something far more reliable. Self-trust. Trust that you can solve problems. Trust that you can recover from mistakes. Trust that you will continue learning. The strongest confidence comes not from believing life will be easy, but from believing you can handle life's difficulties. Self-trust reduces fear more effectively than external approval ever can. The inner critic does not tell the truth. Almost everyone has an inner voice that creates doubt. You'll fail. You're not ready. People will judge you. The problem is not hearing this voice. The problem is believing it. Jeffers encourages treating the inner critic like background noise rather than absolute truth. Replace limiting thoughts with supportive ones. I can learn. I'll figure it out. I've handled challenges before. The voice inside your head influences the direction of your life. Choose it carefully. Every problem has a solution. Fear convinces us that problems are permanent. Jeffers offers a healthier perspective. Problems are part of life. So are solutions. Every challenge teaches new skills, strengthens resilience, expands experience. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" ask, "What's the next step?" Small actions solve problems more effectively than endless worrying. Progress begins with movement. Stop giving fear too much authority. Fear often acts like an expert. It predicts failure, embarrassment, loss, disappointment. Yet fear rarely predicts the future accurately. It specializes in worst-case scenarios. Jeffers reminds readers that fear deserves acknowledgement, not obedience. Listen to it. Understand it. Then decide whether it deserves control over your life. Most often the answer is no. Decisions create freedom. Many people postpone difficult decisions because choosing feels uncomfortable. Ironically, indecision often creates greater suffering. The mind repeatedly replays every possibility. Stress increases. Energy decreases. Jeffers encourages making thoughtful decisions and then moving forward. No decision guarantees perfection, but every decision creates learning. Life becomes clearer through action, not endless hesitation. Let go of the need for approval. One of the greatest sources of fear is worrying about other people's opinions. Will they approve? Will they criticize? Will they understand? Jeffers explains that living for external approval eventually disconnects us from ourselves. Some people will always disagree. Others will misunderstand. That is part of life. The goal is not universal approval. The goal is living according to your values. Authenticity creates deeper fulfillment than constant acceptance. Positive thinking requires action. Optimism alone is not enough. Positive thinking becomes meaningful when combined with action. Believe you can. Then begin. Hope without effort changes little. Belief followed by consistent action transforms lives. Courage grows one decision at a time. Confidence follows repeated action. Gratitude reduces fear. Fear focuses on what is missing. Gratitude focuses on what already exists. Health, relationships, knowledge, opportunities, simple joys. When we appreciate the present moment, fear loses some of its intensity. Gratitude reminds us that life contains far more support than our anxious mind often recognizes. A grateful perspective strengthens emotional resilience. Growth never ends. Each new level of life introduces new fears. A new job, marriage, parenthood, leadership, retirement. Fear evolves because life evolves. Jeffers encourages welcoming growth rather than expecting permanent comfort. The goal is not reaching a fearless life. The goal is becoming someone who confidently handles fear whenever it appears. Every challenge prepares us for the next one. Freedom comes through courage. Courage is not a personality trait reserved for extraordinary people. It is a daily choice. Making the phone call, starting the project, having the conversation, taking the first step. Every courageous act expands your comfort zone. What once seemed impossible gradually becomes normal. Freedom grows each time fear no longer controls your decisions. Trust the process of life. One of the book's deepest messages is learning to trust life itself. Not because everything will always go according to plan, but because every experience contributes to growth. Success teaches. Failure teaches. Joy teaches. Difficulty teaches. Life continually shapes us into stronger, wiser people. When we trust that we can learn from every experience, uncertainty becomes less frightening. The journey itself becomes meaningful. Final thoughts. Feel the fear and do it anyway reminds us that fear is not a sign that we should stop. It is often a sign that we are growing. Susan Jeffers teaches that courage is not the absence of fear but the willingness to move forward despite uncertainty. By changing our relationship with fear, we stop allowing it to control our choices and begin using it as a signal that meaningful growth lies ahead. The book encourages us to trust ourselves more than our worries, replace victim thinking with personal responsibility, let go of the need for constant approval, and recognize that confidence is built through action rather than waiting for the perfect moment. Every challenge we face strengthens our ability to handle the next one. The central message is both simple and deeply empowering. Fear is inevitable, but paralysis is optional. Every time we choose action over avoidance, we expand our confidence, increase our resilience, and create opportunities that fear would have kept hidden from us. In the end, feel the fear and do it anyway teaches that the most fulfilling life is not the one with the least fear, it is the one where fear no longer makes our decisions. When we trust ourselves, embrace uncertainty, and continue moving forward despite discomfort, we discover a strength that has been within us all along.